Hello, and welcome to part 4 of my videos looking at getting started with Sorare. In part 4, I'm going to be talking about some of the scouting tools available to you. Now, this video will go through, as I say, the scouting tools that are available, looking at some of the player information and a brief look at what to look for. Now, if you are new to Sorare, and you haven't yet joined, you could do so on my link here, which is www.sorareonabudget.com. That will take you to the sign up process for Sorare. And when you buy 5 cards from the new card auctions, you will get 1 card free. And that card will be a tradable card. You can sell it and replace it with something else in your club, or you can use that card in your game weeks. So without further ado, I'm going to click over to my account on Sorare here. And I'm going to talk you through some of the ways that you can help build a club like this. So at the moment, I'm sitting with quite a number of players at my club, all the way from Japanese players, American or MLS-based players. I've got European players. So I've got quite a variety of players. Now, all of these players that I've picked up have been researched, and I've went to find out a little bit of information about them before I went and purchased them. So some of the ways you could do that are as follows. So there's a website here which is called oops, there we go. We have Sorare Data. Now, Sorare Data is probably the best resource you can use as a Sorare user. On here, you can see everything. You can see at the bottom of the screen here that they have just raised $700,000 to enhance the experience for users on Sorare Data. Now that's massive. That's an add-on to the Sorare game by somebody like you and me, who just had a bit of research and had the knowledge on how to build a site like this, and they're managing to raise this substantial amount of money to help build a better experience for you and me, which hats off for that. Now, this links directly into Sorare, so it's going to ask you to log in to find some information here. Log in with your Sorare account, perfectly safe to do so. It'll ask you when you log into it, do you want to authorize that? It shows you what it can do, what it can't do. Just authorize that there, and it logs into Sorare Data. Now, from here, you can see things like your gallery, your current estimated value of your gallery. There's a lot of information on here. Now, this would be something to browse at your own leisure to have a look through. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to look at the Scout section. Again, this is going to be very brief. Very, very brief. I have got a video which will use same related videos or other videos that will talk through a bit more about this. But within here, you can search for your players, by position. So if you want to buy let's have a look at buying a defender. There's a starter from, let's choose let's go with League Santander, and I'll click off that one. Now, down below here, you could search for how many games they've played, how many games they've started, over the last 5, last 15, and last 40. I'm just going to be very straightforward. I want a player that has played every game and has started every game. And I want it to be a rare card for no more than, let's go with 0.5. I don't think we're going to find that, but let's have a look anyway. And let's do a search. So down below here now, it will show, there is one card here that fits that criteria. So there's Leandro Cabrera from Espanyol. It tells you a little bit about him here, that in his last 5 games, he's averaged 54. And the best price in the market for him at the moment, and what he's been selling for recently. So those two figures don't usually match up, because people will buy them in the auctions and want to sell them for a little bit more, or they've got them listed higher, and you can negotiate that price with the manager that owns that card. You can see that this player is quite reliable. He's played 93% of the last 40 games, which I think is about 37 or 40 games. So he's a very reliable player, and might be one worth looking at and picking up. But if I want to find out a bit more information about this person, Leandro Cabrera, I can then go to a site like, why is this not? Let me click over here. That's my information here for there. I'm going to go over to the transfer market. There we go. That's a little bit easier. Transfer market. And on here, transfermarket.com. You can then search for the player. So I'm going to search for Cabrera. And then it's going to bring up these players here. So there is Leandro Cabrera. Now here you'll find a little bit more information. So on Sorare and Sorare data, it'll just say that he is a defender. Now that doesn't say whether he's a left back, right back, centre back, wing back, whatever. But when you click into here, you'll find out a little bit more information about him. So here you can see he is a centre back, but he can also play as a left back. Just above here, there's been 3 games in La Liga this season. He started all 3, and he's played every single minute, so he's not even been substituted out. You can see that he's a former Uruguay under-20 international. So you can see a lot of information about the player here. Now, this is quite handy because you can see things like, you can see his transfer fees. You can see, so he's a regular in that club. So he's quite likely to play most of the games, and probably a safe pickup. Now, what you can then do, another resource you can use is SofaScore. Now, that is a site that tracks all the scores in games, shows you the performance of the players, gives an average rating to the players, so you can get a bit of an idea as to how that player's performing. But what I'll do is Cabrera. It's going to bring him up here, Leandro Cabrera. So we can click on him. We can find out a little bit more information about him here. And one of the great things I like about SofaScore is you get things like, here is his heat map here. So you can see he's had a poorer game in the last outing against, I want to say, I'm not sure who that is, to be honest. But in the game here, you can see he's predominantly been a left-sided centre back, and from his heat map, he's predominantly, he's not getting forward an awful lot. His end game kind of finishes at the halfway line. But with that, you can find a little bit more. You can see his preferred foot is left, which would explain why he's on the left side of defence. That makes sense. His matches down below, you can see here that the 3 games, and he's played 90 minutes per game. Attacking, he's done nothing in an attacking sense. He's very much a defensive player. If he was a wing back, he'd probably be getting more forward and creating chances and having opportunities at goal or getting crosses in, things like that. But you can see here, his passing fairly accurate, 77%. Accuracy in his own half, long balls, not so accurate with the long balls. You can also see here he's had 2 clean sheets, so they're obviously performing quite well at the start of the season. Duels, you can see that aerial battles, he's won 73% of his aerial battles, pretty solid. And you can see other things like offsides, fouls, yellow cards, a little bit more information, a little blurb about him on this one as well here. So those are the things that you could do before you jump in and buy a card. You can look on things like SofaScore, Transfer Market, Sorare data, and obviously Sorare itself as well, because you do see the information about the card there. So let's have a look at Cabrera. I'll bring them up here. And again, obviously from Sorare itself, you do get some detailed information on them as well, but it's just good to do a little bit more research so you can try and find out a little bit more information. Here you can see 3 games, 270 minutes, 1 yellow card, nothing else of note in terms of assist, goals or that sort of thing. But he has obviously played quite well. So here's his last game there. He didn't have a great game in that one, but previously 60, 65. So he's a fairly solid card. Yeah, he's had a bad game there, but they did lose 1-0 to Mallorca. So, he could have been at fault for the goal, or he could have just had a poor performance or what have you. We all know football. We all know that swings and roundabouts, but if somebody's better more often than not, he's going to work out quite well for you. So if we want to go and find that card, as I showed in part 3 of how to buy the cards, you could look through here. You can see the ones that are up for sale as a buy. But you can also, if you scroll down, there'll be ones here for bid as well. So there you go. You can see these cards are upcoming in auctions. So you can put a bid onto any of these cards. The blue one being the super rare. And obviously there'll be more of the limited cards available there. So you can see some of these cards are sitting at like 48 pence just now. Particularly cheap. They will increase over time. Let's have a look further down. Try to find the ones that are finishing the soonest. So there's ones 2 hours, 9 hours, 12 hours. So the most recent one to finish is 6 hours. There's one finished 28 minutes ago for a rare card for 123 quid. And there's one that, this finishes in 6 hours and it's sat at just under £7. So you can see what sort of prices they've been selling for, 20 quid, that sort of price range. Again, fairly solid card, so it could be worth the expense for that one. But that's a very brief overview of the scouting tools available to you and what to look for. As I said at the start, you don't necessarily want to just jump in and buy without doing the research. If you have a look at my detailed scouting video that is available on here on YouTube, you will be able to get a bit more information. You'll see some of the searches that I do personally when I'm looking for some of the players. You can adjust them to suit for your own budget and for your own, requirements. That's this video. That's kind of this mini series. Thank you to everyone that subscribed to the page. As I say, if you haven't signed up to Sorare and you're interested in doing so, www.sorareonabudget.com. Sign up there, or that'll take you to the Sorare page where you can sign up. And as I say, you'll get a free card for using my link when you buy 5 from the new card auctions. Follow me on Twitter at Sorare on a Budget. If you've got any queries, questions, and you want some more information, or you want to run anything by me, feel free to do so. And yeah, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you've enjoyed this series. And I look forward to interacting with more on Twitter and in future videos. Thanks for your time.